one of the great ruin sites of southern India. One could say perhaps one of the great ruin sites of all Asia. It's a UNESCO site now, of course, but what is so very fascinating about Hampi is that unlike other royal capitals, it was sacked and abandoned and never again occupied to any extent, so that the ruins there preserve something of what the city was like in the middle of the 16th century. This you cannot study for, let's say, Delhi or other great cities, because modern development has overtaken the sites. At Hampi, very little modern development has taken it. There's only one village really that has developed. The rest of the site is in this sort of wilderness. And what a wilderness! One of the most beautiful landscapes to be found anywhere in India. It's a granitic landscape. It's a sort of wild, rock-strewn landscape through which the Tungabhadra flows over rocks.
The beginning of the 14th century saw considerable political disruption in South India and the Deccan. This resulted from the repeated attacks of the Khalji and Tughlaq dynasties from the north. Out of the chaos, the sons of a chieftain named Sangama built a new and powerful kingdom called Vijayanagara, or City of Victory. The Vijaynagara Empire emerged in the mid-14th century and soon encompassed most of South India from coast to coast. It drew a line across the Deccan and prevented the further expansion of the sultanates to the north. By the mid-15th century, the kingdom stretched from North Karnataka to Kerala and from the Malabar coast to Odisha. Today, the ruins of Hampi cover more than 30 square kilometers, and more than 500 monuments have been identified. One can imagine what a sight must have met Abudur Razzak, an ambassador of Persia, when he visited Vijayanagara in 1442. He said, "The city of Vijayanagara is such that the pupil of the eye has never beheld a place such as this, nor the ear of intelligence ever been informed that there exists an equal to this anywhere in the world." Domino Paes, a Portuguese visitor to Vijayanagara between 1520 and 1522, says, "About the size of the city, I do not wish to write here because you cannot see all of it from any one place. However, I climbed on a high hill from where I could see a considerable part of it, and I must say that it was as large as Rome and very beautiful to the sight." In the palace complex is a massive stone basement. This is what remains of a large structure called the Mahana Madiba. The Portuguese traveller Domino Paes writes that it was erected to mark King Krishna Deva Raya's victorious military campaign in Odisha. Originally, there may have been a gorgeously decorated, many-storied pavilion on this platform. It is here that the king celebrated the 9 days of the Mahanavami festival, which marks the victory of Durga over Mahishasura. This was also the occasion when the king used to review the armies and check the preparedness for battle. The spectacular celebrations and parades left a deep impression upon foreign visitors who have described them in great detail. The Ramachandra Temple was most probably made towards the end of the 15th century. The enclosure wall of the temple continues the themes seen in the friezes of the Mahana Madiba. The carvings here are finely finished and have a more controlled and formal presentation than the earlier ones. However, the liveliness of the Dibba carvings is not found here in this courtly style. The lowest panel shows elephants. The second has horses with grooms. And the third has parading soldiers.
The Vitola Temple, which is an abandoned monument from the middle of the 16th century, must be considered one of the great showpieces of Hindu religious art in South India. The way in which this rather crude, roughly coursed material, this granite, this local granite, was fashioned to create the most complex architectural interiors, with columns with cut-out colonnettes and sculptures all out of one block, is among the most amazing virtuoso performances of Indian architecture that we have.
A stone ratha modelled on the wooden processional carts of the temples is made before the mandapa. It had a tower above which was visible till the 19th century. This is not a monolithic structure but is made of carved stones. Great capital of the Vijayanagara Empire exhilarates the visitor. The structures and its art speak of a vigor and a zest for life. Indeed, Hampi was one of the most celebrated metropolises of medieval India. Perhaps the comment of Abudur Razzak, ambassador of Persia in the 15th century, best brings alive the prosperous life of Hampi then. He says, "Roses are sold everywhere. These people cannot live without roses, and they look upon them as quite as necessary as food." What a wonderful city and culture this must have been.